Once upon a time, there was a place of carved stone faces. A man with a lantern lay sleeping a dreamless sleep. The man knew nothing. One day, the man woke up. He rubbed the dried ink caked over his eyes and opened them. Around him, he saw other people stirring, and beyond, a horizon of unbroken darkness. A woman approached the man with the lantern. Her soft hand reached out to him. They had no words. They were a mystery to each other. Suddenly, a monster emerged from the darkness. Its eyes wild with hunger, it attacked. The people were no match for the monster. It tore their flesh and crushed their bones between its teeth. Some it devoured whole. Overcome with terror and grief, the man with the lantern collapsed to the ground. Cold stone noses pushed into his side. There was no escape. But the man did not want to die. Desperately grasping at the cold stone faces, he felt a crack and tore at it with all his might. A piece of stone came free. It was sharp and deadly. The man with the lantern scrambled to his feet, his weapon clenched in his fist. He took a deep breath and roared into the darkness. Somewhere in the place of stone faces, nameless men stand together. They have nothing but a need to survive and a lantern to light their struggles.
Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek. Doug Mystic Guy on YouTube, Doug Herring on YouTube as well. You can also check out DougMysticGuy.com, etc. Hey, this is me for my holiday playthrough that I promised and committed to everybody, playing Kingdom Death Monster. Now I'm going to preface this with, you saw my prelude with the story elements in it. I was planning a big cinematic experience with this, and I filmed it, actually, and didn't like it. So I didn't like the way it was turning out. It just wasn't what I was hoping for. I had a grand vision in my head and it didn't quite work out, and I think it left too much to not be explored, like the rules, etc. And so I posted something and some folks gave some suggestions to perhaps do both, and that's what we're going to do. So today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. I wish you and your family the best. I hope you're enjoying it, and we're going to get busy and do a run-through of this. Now, this is going to start exactly where the intro video leaves off. The survivors have found each other, 4 of them, and they've come together, and there's this creature, a terrible lion, that is stalking them. They have to fight that lion to survive. Otherwise, they have no idea what's going on. Now, you can see that some of my miniatures here are in color, so I've been starting to paint them. None of them are finished, so I want to preface that. The only one that I have kind of close to done is actually my Screaming Antelope, which you won't see for quite some time in this playthrough. But anyway, I'm going to talk through rules and everything as well, and that's what was missing from the cinematic experience. I didn't show the dice rolls. I showed what the dice rolled, but I didn't roll the dice on screen. I just placed them in there and did a narrative, and while it looked cool in process when I started editing, it just wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So, if you're not experienced or don't have any exposure to Kingdom Death Monster and you've been living under some kind of gaming rock, because it's something everybody talks about, it is currently on Kickstarter and has currently raised over $7 million. And I have to say, it's one of the more unique games I've played. Now, I'm also going to preface this video by saying that this will be chock full of spoilers, and even though I say it in the intro, I'm going to say it again. I am going to spoil the storyline, because you're going to get to see it, and I'm going to play through it. And I think what I'm going to do is do a similar type run through like I do with A Touch of Evil, where I kind of do a previously on, and that's going to be the story type element. That seemed to work very well, much better than what I tried to do with this series. And anyway, as I want to talk about the rules, and I really wasn't doing that, and that's kind of a shame. So we're going to definitely talk about all the rules and everything that goes along with it. So why don't we get started? I'm going to actually start playing, and you're going to get to see how this runs. Now I will start by showing you a character sheet and what there is as a item grid, and that's important. So I'll start by talking about that. Well, this is our first survivor. I named him Logan. Now, it's important to name your character right off the bat, because on this character sheet you have a number of things, and I'm going to bring it a little closer for you so you can see that. You can see that we have one survival, and I got one survival because I named my character. And every character you name gets to start the game with one survival, and survival is important because it allows you to use these unique abilities here. You see the first one that's marked in as dodge. It allows us to avoid a hit, and you'll see that during the gameplay. And we have some stats. We have our base movement of 5. We got accuracy, strength, evasion, luck, and speed. We're not going to get to see any of those increase in this session. No, we might get a temporary boost or two. We'll see. Brain is your your mental fortitude, not your getting hit in the head stat, which is in the game book it references it as mental armor, so it confuses some people. It is not armor. It is your brain. And how you protect your brain is through becoming insane. It says if you're in insanity 3 or more, you are insane. Every point of insanity you have protects you from brain trauma. So you want to gather insanity. In fact, you want to be insane. Everybody said, well, what's the downside to being insane? Well, there are cards and events that can really mess with you if your insanity is 3 or more or higher. So you got to be a little careful there. Now, this is our armor section, and I'm going to explain that. So basically, you see we have no armor except for one in the waist, and I'll show you what that is. And I'm only going to go over one of the characters. I'll just tell you the one's name, because they're all starting off the same. He has cloth armor in his waist. This cloth armor protects your waist and gains 1 armor point. That's all it does. And this is the only item you start with. You can see that on the miniature, he actually does have the waist armor on. And again, I'm not finished painting these, but this is the painted version of one of the main survivors with his founding stone, his lantern. And yeah, I tried to I actually put because they start with ink on their face, so he actually has that. We'll see. It looks more like dirt to me, so that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it that way or not. But they also start with a single weapon. This weapon is called a founding stone. Now, if you remember in the introduction, the man, tore up a piece of stone, a sharp stone from the floor. And I'm going to go over this real quickly. The lightning bolt means it requires an action. So you get to move and you get to take an action. This requires your action. This is your speed. The 2 means you roll 2 dice when you're rolling to hit, 2d10 in this case. This is your chance to hit. You have a 7+. Now there are some modifiers there that can come into play as you play, and we'll see how that goes. Now the other sad thing about my other playthrough that I did, the cinematic one, is I was rolling incredibly well, and it was fun. But hopefully I do the same in this one. And then this is the strength of the weapon. So once you've managed to hit, doesn't mean you've managed to wound, and you have to roll again. This strength allows you to basically increase your d10 roll by 1. Okay, and then you can spend this. You can spend your action to throw the stone. Now this is a kind of a last-ditch, desperate move. It automatically criticals the line, and when you draw a hit location on it, it'll automatically do a critical on that location and automatically hit. So we might throw one of these during the game. We'll see, but you got to try and keep them. Now you can look here, and your grid shows you some other stuff, and see that it's got a little this little horse. Let me take this off and show you more closely as well. Okay, so you can see here that it's got at the start of your act, which is your actions, you gain +1 move, which is a little chess pawn, and +1 activation. That's what you get you start with. Now you can spend that to move, and you can spend that to attack or activate gear, terrain, etc. Special rules. We'll see how that plays out. Then you can see that the dodge is listed here: avoid the damage from a hit, dash, surge, and encourage, but we don't have those yet. And if we were to throw our founding stone or chose to attack differently, we can also fight with fist and tooth. Basically, you just pummel it. The cool thing about fist and tooth is it is deadly, so you get +1 luck, meaning that you can actually critical better, but your chance to hit is worse, and you have no bonus to damaging. But it still rolls 2 dice, so it's not terrible. And that is basically a character. So we're going to get started. The White Lion has 2 things I'll just show you briefly. And again, some of you may know this, and you're going, Doug, you're wasting my time. I already know this. Well, skip ahead a little bit because I do want to share this with some people. This is the monster controller card. This is the first player of a round. And it passes around well, it's not really the first player, but it passes around in order as you play. And if you manage to draw or attract the monster to you, it gives you an insanity, which is very important because that's your mental protection. So that is our guy Logan. So the characters that we have currently are Logan, Sarah, Mikhail, and Angelica. Those are our 4 characters. I named them that for no apparent reason, just because they sound like names that would fit in this crazy world. Now let's talk about the lion, the white lion itself. So here we have the control board for the lion. We have a hit location deck, which I've shuffled, which has a bunch of locations that you can do damage to. So every time you fight the lion, he's going to be different. Now in this case, we're fighting the prologue lion, so he's not as tough. It's meant to not be as tough. And he's got this AI deck. Now this AI deck serves 2 purposes. One, it shows it governs his attacks and how he acts each round for him, and then it also acts as his health. So as we damage him, we remove these AI cards and we put them in the wound stack. Now when that is empty, we have to do one more hit, basically take out his final card, and he is dead. Okay. Now if there are cards that we've already discarded, then we shuffle them back. But if there's nothing left at all, then he will get killed on the next hit. And you'll see as we do that. Now, there are some, you see these things over here, these are for things that stay in play and items or tokens that affect the creature. Some of those tokens may affect us as well. We'll see. But we're going to get going right now. It's time to get started. Now, under normal circumstances, we do what we call a hunt phase before this, which could determine whether or not we get to attack first, or the animal gets, the creature, the monster in this case, gets to attack first. In this case, because it's the prologue, there was no hunt phase, and the lion does get to act first. We're going to draw his first AI card. So it is going to be Claw. And now I know that because in this one you kind of precede the deck. And since the monster goes first, you want this is an AI card that's really basic. It just kind of gets you started. Now I'm going to go over the anatomy of these cards. You can see it on the screen. And it says pick target closest threat facing in range. Well, I set him up so he's got his back to us, so he doesn't really have that. So now we got closest threat in field of view. Well, that's everybody, and they're all 6 away. So it's going to be randomly. We can determine it randomly. And if there is nobody in range, but there is, because the lion gets to move, and I'll show you that here under the lion. Let me show you his basic stats. The lion has a movement of 6, so he can get exactly to everybody. We have a movement of 5, so he has to move before we can actually get to him, well, at least in the first round. So we're going to play the claw attack, and again, I'll leave that up on screen. So basically, if he turns around, you can see that everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually she needs to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, see, everybody's 6 away. So we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and if we roll a 10, we'll re-roll and see who he attacks. Now, Logan would love it if the lion attacked him, and he doesn't. Okay. I guess if we roll a 9 or 10, we can say we choose. I want him to attack Logan. Logan wants him to attack. Logan has the monster controller card, and if we do that, that will give him an insanity. So he hollers and bellows at the lion, and it's going to have him attack him, so he can get 1 insanity point in his brain. Going mad in the membrane. Okay, let's do this. So the lion will move. He'll go 1, 2, 3 to here, and then turn to here. That's more than enough, so he can get there with no problem, where he will attack our guy Logan. Now Logan is going to have to suffer 2 attacks. And you see the lion has a speed of 2. He has an accuracy of 2. So monsters have a really good chance to hit until you gain some things later on, and it does 1 damage, and I'll show you how that works as we go. So we're going to roll 2 dice, 2d10, and I'm going to get the dice tower out. Ooh, pretty dice tower. Okay. We're going to put our 2d10 up there, and we're just going to topple them down. Boom, they come out. So the lion actually missed once. That's good, and he hit. Now let's see. Now here's the other thing about that's cool. So you have hit location dice. Now I'm not going to keep explaining this. We'll just do it as we go. But here's the hit location dice. He only hit once, so we're going to roll 1 of those and see where we land a blow in the leg. Well, I could dodge that because I do have a point. Now see, in here you can actually affect the dodge. This actually says you could. This is the trigger, this little down arrow that says you can use your survival to do an effect. And with dodge, you do it after you determine the hit location. So he could do that right now, but I think we're just going to discard this, and we're going to take that point of damage in the leg, because he can take 2 before he gets anything serious going on. So he's just going to take that one because he's kind of saving that survival to see if he gets hit in the head or something instead. So that's his turn. That's the lion's action. That is his entire turn. So the lion charged forward and swiped his 2 claws at our guy Logan, and Logan survived it. taking a gash to the leg that will heal over time in this strange world that we live in. Strange world of stone faces and lanterns. Alright, now we get to go to our players' turns. So I think we're going to start, now the two characters are Logan and Sarah, and we got Mikhail and Angelica. So I think we're going to actually start with Angelica, and I'm going to tell you why. So she can move 5. So we're going to go one to here, one to here, so we can get behind the lion. Now what does that do? That gives us a bonus chance to hit. So instead of needing a 7 with the founding stone, we're going to need a 6. And she's going to roll 2 dice. So let's get the dice tower out again and roll 2 dice and see if she can land a blow on the lion. Let's hope that she does. And she failed. So she missed with both hits because what she needs with the founding stone is a 7. It's up on the screen for you. And with the +1, she needed a 6. So she actually failed at both of those. This was not a 6 when I rolled it, right? So anyway, that was her action. Now, let's go on. I think we'll do Sarah next because she is in the back. 1, 2, 3. She'll go back here, and she too will take a swipe at the lion and see if we can do some damage. So let's roll and see. She actually got a hit. Boom. She got a 7, which is going to hit the lion. So now we draw a hit location card. So I have the hit location deck here. We're just going to draw the first one, and it is the beast's flank. Now, let's talk about this card. Okay, through movie magic, I've put this up on the screen for you. You see the beast's flank has a wound ability, R. See, the R means reflex. And it says the cats hate being hit in the flank. He hates this. The monster is very upset. If she wounds. If she manages to wound it. Now, with her founding stone, she has a strength of 1. So the toughness on the lion, on its basic card, in this lion in this case, is a 6. So we need a 5 or better to actually wound the lion. A 10, a lantern, or a 10 rather, will critical. So let's get our dice bowl out and see if we can manage. A 1, she actually failed to wound the creature, which in this case means that the wound effect, the reflex from the wound effect does nothing, but we also did no damage. That's unfortunate. That's 2 attacks down. So now we have, let's go to Logan. I think we're going to move him 1, 2, 3. We'll move him over, we'll just move him to the side here. He moves over to the side where he will too attack with his founding stone. So let's do that. If we miss, if we don't damage him again this turn, I'm going to have Mikhail throw the founding stone at the lion. We'll see. Well, he missed. He needed 6s. He failed. So Logan stepped to the side and failed. So now Mikhail starts to panic. He looks at the lion. The lion is, they're swiping at the lion. They're just not getting through its tough hide or hitting it. So he decides to hurl his founding stone at the creature. So this is what happens. Here's the founding stone again. I'll put it up on screen for you actually. So spend an action to sling the stone from anywhere on the board. Activate this card for 1 automatic hit. So what he's going to do is he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of get out of range, and he's going to hurl the stone at the lion. Now unfortunately that means it's expended, but it does do an automatic hit. So let's draw a hit location card and see what we get. We get the beast's tricep. Now if we failed to hit, it would perform a basic action, but we didn't. We criticaled automatically because we threw the founding stone. Now what does this do? It says cancel the reflex, so we're not going to do that. The torn muscle causes an agonizing pain, and I'll have this up on screen for you so you can read it. Discard 1 mood currently in play. That sucks because there isn't one. And the white lion is knocked down. Well, that sucks because he's the last guy to go. This is not going to help us. While the monster is knocked down, we needed 3 to succeed. So that was a bit of a waste. But we did actually do a wound. Now how does that work? Once again, we take the AI card off the top of the deck and we place it on the wound stack without looking at it. We don't know which card the beast lost. Now we're wrapping back around to the lion. So the lion is going to stand up automatically. We don't have to, he's not going to suffer any ill effects. If that had happened at the beginning of the round, they all would have been able to hit him with a 3 or better, which would have made a different scenario for us, but we did not expect everyone to miss. So far we've only got 1 wound on the lion. Now we get to draw an AI card for the lion, and we're going to get enraged. This is a mood, and we're going to play that on the board. Okay, here it is on the screen for you. When this comes into play, draw an AI card. Okay, we're going to draw another AI card. When enraged is in play, the white lion gains +1 damage token per monster level. Well, he's level 1, so he's going to gain a damage token. That means he's going to do, when he does a hit, he's actually going to do multiple hits. When a survivor suffers any dismembered, severe injury, or is killed, then we get to discard the enraged. Not going to happen anytime soon. So let me get out a token for that. Now this mood card goes here. If we place this token here, this will not go back into his deck, but it is going to enhance him and give him +1 damage. So we need to keep track of that. Now we have to draw another AI card, unfortunately, because it's going to enhance what just happened. And we draw Chomp. So let's talk about Chomp, and we're going to make the lion do his thing here. Okay, you can see that we have closest target facing in range, which there is nobody facing him. We have closest target in field of view. We have all of them again. And so in this case, actually, though, the monster controller card has now shifted to Sarah, which means if there are multiple players around, then Sarah would be rolling the dice for the monster, etc. Okay, could be a particularly bad round for us. Now, all we're going to do is pick a target, and then we're going to move and attack the target. Now, we do have the opportunity to dodge in this case. So let's roll again, because it's going to be random. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's actually still in range. I should have backed him up one more, but I didn't, so it's too late for that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4. So he spins around. The line spins. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to attack Sarah. No, Angelique. Or Angelica, rather. It's going to attack Angelica. She's the brunette there. All right, let's see. What are we going to do? We're going to do 1 speed. So it's going to do 1 dice, but because of the... when it hits, it's going to do 2 damage to a location. So it's got 2 plus to hit, and then there's an after hit effect called Headhunter. Always hits in the... Oh, this is terrible. So he's biting down on Sarah's head. We'll hope Sarah lives through this. Here's the die. It's just 1 die, luckily, but you only need a 2 to hit. Uh-oh, dice got stuck. Oh, and he rolled a 1. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. A 1. Yay. So he missed, just barely missed taking Angelica's head off. And we're going to discard this card. And so the Headhunter effect does not have any impact. Man, that was a lucky thing, because that arranged thing, she would have taken 2 hits to the head immediately. And just to show you, you can't take 2 hits to the head immediately without suffering a severe injury. So we got lucky, and I'll talk about severe injuries if they come up. It is back around to our players' turns. We definitely want to get in behind him again, so we're going to have Logan, I think, go 1, 2, 3 to get to here. That'll leave the ability for Angelica to come around to the back as well. Then he will attack right there in behind the lion. So that means, again, he's using his founding stone, so he needs 6s or better to hit the lion. Let's see what he gets. A 9 and a 3, so he hit 1 time. Hit the lion in the rear once. We're going to draw a hit location card and see what we get. We get Fleshy Gut. Okay, well, here it is on the screen for you. It says, if we fail, the white lion swats back, perform a basic action. Hopefully we won't fail. And then if there's a critical effect, but otherwise it will just wound. Okay, Logan needs a 5 to hit, 5 to damage rather, because he's got his founding stone, which has a strength of 1, and the lion has a toughness of 6. Let's see if he can do it. Come on, Logan! A 7! He wounds the lion. He does not critical, but he wounds it. That is a good thing. So we are going to take another card off of the AI deck and place it here. So we now have... See, he only's got 3 cards left, plus the 2 that have been discarded in the enraged. So we're working him down, but he has already damaged us, and we got lucky. But that ends the effect of the Fleshy Gut. Now we're going to move on to one of our other characters. Characters do not get to move diagonally, so let's see if we can get Angelique behind. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can. So she runs up and moves in behind the lion. And by the way, this is Angelique. Again, I'm not finished with these, but they're getting pretty close to finished as far as the painting is going. And she's right there. Okay, now once again, she still has her, or Angelica rather, I keep calling her Angelique. She still has her founding stone, which means she's going to need 5s to hit instead of 6s. That is good, so let's see if she can do it. Here's her 2 hits with her founding stone. She got a 9, which is going to give her 1 hit, and that's going to allow her to draw a AI card. Let's do that. Okay, what do we get? We get the Beast's Temple. I am pausing to take images of the cards so I can put them on screen for you. Okay, it says Beast Temple. There's a failure reflex. It'll perform a basic action if we do not damage, and then there's a critical hit. So let's go, Angelica, see if we can do the damage. Boom! A 6. So is that going to wound, I think? Well, toughness of 6? Yes, it's a 5, right? Hold on. She rolled 9. She needs a 5. Yes, she wounded, but did not do a critical. So we got another wound on the creature. That means we're going to discard the Beast Temple. And discard yet Another one of the Lion's AI cards. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're having a pretty good run again. Now we have Sarah and Mikhail to go next. So I think what we're going to have Sarah do is run around this side. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. And then Mikhail will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. Wait, we're not going to... Let's finish Sarah's turn first. Sarah's going to attack with her founding stone. We're going to hold on to those founding stones against a regular white lion. It's better. Let's see if she can hit. Come on, Sarah, let's do it. Boom! She hit with 1. She got an 8. Now she needed a 5, so she missed with the second one. Or no, a 6 rather. Nope, she needed a 7. She's from the side. So she hit once. Let's draw the hit location card and see what she gets. Oh, the beast's brow. Okay, so putting that up on screen for you. Okay, hopefully this has a reflex on a wound, so hopefully we critical instead. Let's see if we can get that done. Come on, Sarah, let's get it done. Roll the dice. Big number, big number. A 6. That will wound. So because the toughness of the lion is a 6, and the founding stone gives us a strength of 1. So that means we needed a 5 or better. So we wounded it, but that's a problem because you can see it has a reflex on the card. It says, snarling, the monster swats at its attacker. Attacker suffers 1 brain damage, which is bad because she doesn't have any sanity to speak of, or to protect her, or insanity rather, and she can get a basic action performed against her. So let's do that. Characters can only take 1 brain trauma, which kind of sucks. But now we're going to look at the lion's basic action is pretty simple. It's this move and attack. It doesn't need to move. It's just going to spin on Sarah and attack her. So that's actually going to present an interesting thing for Mikhail. It's going to do 2 dice. It has an accuracy of 2. It's going to do 2 damage, remember, because of the enraged. So hopefully she doesn't get too beaten up by this attack. Let's see. 2 and a 10, so the creature definitely hit with both attacks. So that means we're going to do 2 points of damage on each attack. So let's roll our location dice and see where Sarah gets pummeled. Come on, Sarah, survive. Hopefully not in the head. Okay, we got the body and the waist. Well, that's a good thing, and I'll explain why. So first off, I think what she's going to do is she's going to dodge the one in the body. And that she can use her survival to do that. So that's going to expend her 1 survival. We'll mark it down to 0. And then that will put no wounds in her torso, her body. But she is going to take 1 in the waist. Or 2 in the waist, rather. But the good news is she has her cloth armor, which is going to provide her 1 armor. So we're going to erase the 1 armor in the waist. And we're going to check her light injury box on her waist to show that she took damage in the waist there. Oops, I had a point of damage in the body, which she did not take. That was Logan. He took it, right? No, in the legs. Yeah, he's good. Okay, and that is going to be the end of that. So that was Sarah's turn. Now we got... Oh, wait a second. I'm going to take that back, guys. She cannot use her survival on her turn. So she did not do that. So I got to fix that. Her survival is still 1, and unfortunately she took 2 points of damage in the body, which means she took a heavy wound and is knocked down. So now luckily that was on her attack, so it's not that devastating. We don't have the ability to encourage and get people back up, so she is knocked down, and that's not going to she's not going to stand up until the lion's turn, which luckily is good, because if this happened on the lion's turn, she'd be down to the next lion's turn. But we still have Mikhail to go, so that was her attack on the beast's brow. She did wound it. Did I take the card, actually? I think I did not do that. Let me check. No, I did not. So he is down to 1 AI card in his deck. And now it's Mikhail's turn. Mikhail's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the rear, where he's going to attack. He's going to tear at it with his fists and his teeth and just try and shred the lion with his bare hands. Now, what does that mean for him? Well, he is going to have to do his unarmed combat. He gets 2 dice. He needs an 8+, but because he's behind the line, he needs a 7+, and he's got no strength bonus. So let's see if he gets lucky. Wow, he did hit. So he got 1 hit on the lion. Lucky there. So we're going to draw a hit location card, and we got the beast's chest. Now, if you look at that one, there is a failure there. So if it fails, it's going to grab Sarah and tear off with her and probably shred her to pieces. So hopefully that does not happen. But the only way that's going to happen is if we get a really good roll. So let me position everything. Okay, here we go. Let's do this roll and see if Mikhail can either critical wound or hit the wound, because if he does wound, then we'll get lucky. A 6. Will that wound? Exactly, yes, because the toughness of the lion is a 6. So the failure effect, the failure reflex does not take effect, so he does not do the full move. And we have taken the last of the current AI cards out of the deck, so we know that the 2 AI cards that we have are Claw and Chomp. We're going to just shuffle those up and put them back on the AI stack because it's about to be the lion's turn. That was the end of the player's turn. Okay, I just to let you know, field of view. A person directly behind the lion is in the lion's blind spot and is not in field of view. Also, knockdown players do not count as threats, so when we do draw the AI card, we'll see how that impacts the lion. So we're going to draw the card. It's probably going to be Chomp or Claw, right? So, okay, it's Claw. That's good. That's the least worst one. So closest threat facing in range. Okay, there is no threat facing, so we got to go to closest threat in field of view. That means it's going to turn this way, and it's going after Logan or Sarah. 1 through 5, 6 through 10. It's going to go after Sarah. And the current monster controller is unfortunately Logan, as I've been moving these around. So that's no bueno. Wait. How many rounds have we done? Yeah, no, 2 rounds. So the current, actually, it's Mikhail. Mikhail's the monster controller this turn. Let me move the controller card over. All right. Now we're going to roll against Sarah. Oh, sorry, Angelica. Sarah's knocked down. Angelica's right there. Okay, I'm going to get that straight eventually, guys. All right, so we're going to do the claw. That's going to be two attacks with a 2 or more to hit with 2 damage each. Could be bad. Could be the end of an... ooh, I rolled a 1, but I'm going to have to reroll it. It fell out. An 8 and a 10, so both hit Angelica. Now, Angelica has no damage on her, and this is not her turn, so she is definitely going to dodge one. Let's see where the lion hits Angelica. Hopefully not in the head. The foot, the leg, rather, legs and torso. Well, either way she's going to be knocked down, but I think we're going to avoid the torso because that's more likely to get hit. So she dodges the attack on the torso, taking away... I thought she should have 1 survival. She didn't do anything yet, I don't believe. She has not been attacked. She did not dodge anything yet. But, okay, so she is going to take the both the hits on the leg, meaning she's also knocked down now, and she's going to get up on the end of the lion's turn, so that's not so bad for us. And then she dodged the one on her torso, so she did not get hit in the chest. She just got hit in the legs. So that is the lion's turn. That's pretty bad. I mean, you know, any more hits and they're going to start taking severe injuries and damage that they cannot recover from necessarily. And this is, of course, the weakest of the lions, so not meant to be that big of a challenge. However, it's the end of the lion's turn, so both of our knockdown survivors stand up. The monster controller card now passes back to Logan, and we get to go again. So let's start that. Now, I think we're going to start with our 2 folks that are going to be able to get in the rear facing. We'll start with Mikhail. He'll go 1, 2, 3 to the rear, where he's going to attack the lion with his hands and feet. See what he can get. Wow, man, I wish I rolled those on damage rolls. So he got 2 hits because he rolled 2 10s. Good for him. So in that case, we're going to draw 2 hit location cards, and I'll put them up on the screen. We got the beast ribs and the beast's back. Now you can see on these cards that we get to choose which one we're going to do first, and we're going to do the beast rib first because it has a wound effect. If the attacker has a 3 understanding, we don't. The sound of cracking ribs is encouraging and gives us plus survival. We don't have that, but there's no ill effect. However, the beast back, if we fail, it's going to do a big move. So we're going to, and then we wouldn't get that second attack in. So to wound it, we're going to do the beast's rib first. Okay, here's our first damage die on that. We rolled a 10. Oh my god, we critical the lion. That is fantastic. That's 3 10s in a row. That's amazing. I'm having not as good luck as the first playthrough I did, but pretty good luck. So the first thing is we cancel the reflex, but that's okay because it didn't matter. It says the force of the blow breaks the white lion's ribs, weakening it. The lion gains -1 toughness. So what does -1 toughness do? Well, it takes its requirement to damage from a 6 to a 5. Here's the -1 toughness token. I'm putting it on the lion's board. I'll show you all this after we kill the lion just so you see the status, how he ended up. That was the beast rib. We now have gotten rid of Chomp, which is good because that's the one that attacks the head. That was the last of the AI cards. I showed it to you. You're not supposed to turn them up, but we already knew what it was. So, and then we get rid of the beast's rib, and we had done a critical. That is fantastic. Now we got to go again, though. Now this one we don't want to fail. We want to hit because the failure is pretty bad. So come on, Mikhail. You did it with your hands. Let's do it again. A 4. Oh my gosh, that's going to miss. Okay. Well, this is bad for us. I'm about to show you why. Okay. We're going to full move the monster forward in a straight line. Cancel all hits now in range. Well, it's not going to hit. Any survivor passed over suffers grab. That was both of these. So I'm going to move them out of the way. They're both grabbed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because he has -1 to, no. Move full movement. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it moves all the way to the end of the board. Mikhail is here, knocked down. Knocked down. And I believe with this effect, I got to look at grab, but I believe the lion does damage when it grabs. So let me check that out. Yes, it is 1 damage per monster level. Logan still has his survival, so he's actually going to dodge that attack, and we're going to leave him right where he was at. He's using his survival. He has 1 point. So I'm going to take that from his sheet, and he did not get the hit. But that gives him 0 survival. However, Angelica gets dragged to the ground and takes another point of damage. So let's see where the lion damaged her. You can see that these fights can turn pretty quickly. Because now we're going to have people out of range to attack even. So let's see. Oh, we need a hit location. See where we got hit. Oh, in the head. Well, she's already knocked down, so that's not the worst thing in the world. It's a severe injury to the head, but not a one we roll dice on. And she is knocked down. So she got hit in the head and dragged. That is bad for her. And now it goes back to our character's turns. Now, Angelica is not going to get a turn. I think the only one that can get to him now is going to be, let's make sure he's in the right spot there. There. And she's in the right spot there. Okay. It's going to be Logan. So we're going to move Logan. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll move to there, to that rear spot there for 4. And then he will attack the lion. Okay, let's see what he gets. A 7 and an 8 with the Founding Stone. Those are 2 hits. That is fantastic. So we're going to draw 2 location cards. Hopefully don't get the trap because we're starting to go through the cards. We did not. We got the Beast's Paw and the Beast's Maw. And I'm putting those up on the screen for you. They both have a failure effect. So let's see which one does worse. I think the failure effect on the Beast's Maw, the monster roars triumphantly. It's a brain damage to those in range, right? And is knocked down. So I think we're going to do the Beast's Paw first because it's just a basic action. Oh, with +2 damage. You know what? We don't have any other... Well, we have to do 2 damage this turn. We'll do the Beast's Paw first, I guess. Let's do the Beast's Paw first and see what we get. Hopefully, we do the damage on it. Well, no, you know what? Let's do the Maw first because it won't automatically do any actual damage to anybody. And if I can hit it and then damage it again, it'll be dead, and we won't have to suffer the failure effect of the Beast's Paw. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, here we go. 8! So he did damage. He did not fail, so this effect does not take place, but we did not critical. However, there is no more cards. So the Claw, which was the last card, is now the last of the monster's AI. So the monster only has his basic action left. So we do 1 more damage and it's dead. Hopefully we hit with this and we kill it. That would be phenomenal. Okay, let's see if we can do the other point of damage. A 10, we criticaled. Oh my god, Logan, badass Logan. Okay, critical. Cancel the reflex, so we didn't do that. Your attack destroys the lion's foot. It loses its leverage. The white lion gains, oh, that doesn't help us much, but we gain 1 lion claw resource. I'll show you what that is. Let me get the deck out, and I'm just going to see if I can find a lion claw quickly. There it is, the lion claw. So we got an extra resource. We tore off its claw. I'm going to shuffle the deck back. This is the deck for the resources. We'll put that away. And the young white lion is dead. Boom. Now we took a beating on that. That wasn't the most fun fight. And keep in mind, this is a very basic white lion. This was just the prologue. So we survived, though. All the survivors made it through this. We did expend 1 of our Founding Stones. Not a crisis, but we did manage to do that. So that is going to end our fight. Now, the survivors are going to look around and see that they're in this massive plain of dark stone faces on the floor, and there's darkness everywhere. But they see a shining light in the distance, and rather than wait around for another beast to come and attack them, they decide to head toward that light. Before we do that, though, the survivors they just have this gut instinct that they have to do something to keep themselves alive, and scavenging the parts from the white lion are critical, considering that they don't see anything but stone and darkness in every direction. So food, furs, resources, they need them. So what we're going to do with the basic white lion is we're going to draw 4 resources from the white lion's deck. Get a lion's tail, that's pretty good, I don't know what that does. Another lion's claw, a great cat bone, which I'm sure will be useful to us. Now, we use these things to build things. Oh, and the eye of the cat, that's a good one, that does something very nice. Okay, and then we're going to get some basic resources of, let's see, a love juice, which I'll explain later, an organ, bone, hide, we don't know what it is, but it can be used for anything, a monster bone, and a monster bone. Good, 2 bones. And this we get to couple with our lion claw, which also acts as bones. So we got lots of bones, not a lot of hides and furs. It's not great, but that's okay. So I'm going to put these back, and then we're going to get on to the next part of our phase, our segment. Just to recap a bit on the white lion, he had these 2 tokens, -1 toughness and a +1 damage. This was his basic action. This is the basic card for the white lion. You can see that this is the prologue, first story level 1. Then there's actual level 1. He's tougher. This is where we discarded all the hit locations. This is where the AI cards were over there. And of course it was empty. And we had the 1 mood card which goes in this spot. That's the white lion. Let's move on now to our next section. I'm going to surprise you with that. If you haven't seen this, this is where the game gets really interesting. I'm going to walk you through our first settlement phase now. So our survivors wandered through the darkness until they found something. So we're going to first do this. Survivors are victorious. We did that. We took the 4 resources. And then we turned the page to create our settlement. So we followed this first step here. We actually laid out the settlement board, which I'll show you in a moment. And then we returned. So we use a new double-sided settlement sheet, which I'll show you in a moment, to record it, our things about our settlement. And we have to start by naming our settlement. So, guys, this is where you're going to come in. I'm going to stop here, and I want to vote. Give me some names. I'm going to pick the one I like the most for our settlement. And we will then pick up with the events from our first settlement phase. Probably tomorrow, I'll probably get it done Christmas Day if I get some votes today or get some names today. But please help me name the settlement. And then once we've done that, we're going to move on. So, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. And remember that next episode I'll be doing a bit of a recap. And then we will get into the settlement phase once we've been able to name it. Our very first one. I'm going to do a full turn next turn. So it'll be the next episode is going to be rather long because we're going to do this settlement phase. And depending on how long that goes, we're definitely going to do a hunt phase, a showdown, and then maybe the next settlement phase, barring time. I don't want these videos to go too long. But guys, this is Kingdom Death Monster. Thanks so much for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Happy holidays. I do have the winners. I got to do an update. I think I'm going to do it Christmas Day. I'm going to do an update on my channel where I'm going to finally talk about the giveaways. It'll be a Christmas present for everybody, or the people that win, rather. And that's going to be giveaways, some games. And I think I might give away an extra one to somebody else just to be cool because it's the holidays. But anyway, guys, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Tell me what you want our settlement to be, and I'll see you next time.